Hi, my name's Rob Lamberti. I'm here to talk to you about Mr. George Michael. I first realised my channeling of George back in the early 90s on a karaoke machine, semi-drunk at the time. The reaction at first was throwing stuff at me, but it soon, after many weeks of practice, it became a bit of a novelty, and George was in the building every Wednesday at the Sadler's Arms in Northampton.
'Cause I gotta have faith, ooh, I gotta have faith, 'cause I gotta have faith, I got to have a faith.
Yeah, the quote, people always mistaking me for Rob Lamberti, is from an interview in Q magazine where I think a lot of his friends were seeing video clips of me, seeing things online, you know, and they would often tease him, saying that basically he was me, and it was that constant badgering, I think, that led to him to come out with that remark.
Back on the floor, oh baby, I reconsider my foolish notion when I need someone to hold me, but I wait for something more. Yes, I gotta have faith.
The karaoke's led up to, the professional side of being a George Michael tribute led to being on Stars in Their Eyes. So I went from doing a bit of karaoke in a pub on a Wednesday night to actually getting onto being on Stars in Their Eyes, which was a big hit show back in the early 90s, mid-90s. And I sang Faith on there, and I was a finalist. So I went from working on a building site in front of live TV overnight, which was pretty crazy at the time.
I'd say love was a magical flame. I'd say love would keep us from pain. Had I been there, had I been there.
When I first got into being a tribute act, there was already 4 or 5 different acts that were already very, very popular that had won that show, like Shirley Bassey, you know, there was like Rod Stewart, Tina Turner, Neil Diamond, etc., that had been on that show before me, and I got to do some events with them, and I could see the level of where a tribute act really needs to be, and it was kind of, you definitely have to try and look like them as much as possible. The sound is the most important thing, but then you've got movements, and then even talking. I mean, although I'm not speaking like George Michael now, you've even got to try and talk like them in between songs, which is a little bit strange if you're not from the same part of the country of that person, as you can tell. Since the loss of George in 2016, it's changed an awful lot of the sort of a feeling within the show from my point of view. When it comes to singing something really powerful, like a ballad like Different Corner, or, you know, Praying for Time, for example, the lyrics are even more, I don't know, they just seem to want to come from somewhere else that I'd never been to before. It was always sort of just a cheeky sort of fun act, but now it's become much more serious in a way when you come to singing the ballads. I still have fun doing the Wham songs, but there's definitely another element to the show now, which has got that sadness tinge to it.
I don't understand this, for you it's a breeze. Little by little, you brought me to my knees. Don't you care? No, I've never come close in all of these years. You are the only one to stop my tears.
I really love the music of George because there's so many different angles in each song. You could choose Too Funky, for example. There's sort of an aggressive side to it, there's a light side to it, and there's always a great medley. And I just think the songs that he made will go on for a long, long, long time. You know, they're just amazingly well made, very hooky, very catchy, and they get everybody on the dance floor and cheering and waving. And then at the other end of the scale, they get everybody having that little moment. You know, we don't smooch anymore, smooth people, do we? We don't smooch. We should smooch more. So they're the songs that George used to smooch to. And the nightclubs would always be full of people dancing to those hits like Careless Whisper and, you know, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, even with Elton John. You know, so yeah, there's a very great variation of his music, so it's good. I love doing it.
She takes the back road and the lane, past the school that has not changed in all this time. She thinks of when the boy was young, all the battles she had won just to give him life. That man, she loved that man.
I was very, very taken aback. It was a very brief moment backstage in Wembley. I wasn't looking like this, I was looking very much roadie style. And yeah, it was just a big sort of moment for me really to meet someone like I've been impersonating for so long.
Oh!